YouTube? It's time for a July favorites video. I have been spending money a little bit left and right lately, so there'll be a number of items in this favorites video. I won't have a physical thing to show you for all of them, but I will make sure to leave links in the description below if you're interested in some of these things. So the first challenge that I want to mention is the hashtag Me and White Supremacy challenge hosted by Layla Saad at Wild Mystic Woman. This was an amazing opportunity this month to work through my relationship to a lot of different aspects or pieces of white supremacy personally, and also it was really encouraging to see the number of white folks who were maybe participating in something like this for the first time, who haven't, had chances in their daily life to name whiteness, to be aware of it and interrogate it, and just really dig in deeply. And so I'm so grateful to Layla for making the space. She had to deal with a lot of shit she shouldn't have to deal with in this challenge. I made another video on kind of calling some white folks in who really behaved in inappropriate ways during the challenge. And, I think that it's amazing that she did this work, and also, it's a shame that, she did it for free and that folks were still reacting negatively. But I want to, on a positive note, I think a lot of people really did get to dig in on this and are doing the work and are continuing to do the work. So that is awesome. And I want to remind you that you can support Layla financially at Wild Mystic Woman on Instagram. You can find there the links to her Patreon and PayPal. Even if you didn't do the challenge and you just want to support this being in the world. If you are called to participate, keep in mind that she has asked that people do not start the challenge now, but she will be putting out a workbook, and then I think having another opportunity to engage in a paid way with the challenge. So if you're interested, definitely follow her on Instagram so that you can see when those opportunities come up. I also wanted to mention, I'm kind of going to indirectly mention the Tarot for the Wild Soul July challenge on Instagram, which was pretty awesome, but by way of showing the first deck, I wanted to mention. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you've seen the Mystic Mondays deck because I've been using it for that challenge. This was not a deck that I saw existed and was like, holy crap, I have to have this. See, it's very bright colors, kind of geometric, but immediately when I started reading with it, it's just totally transformative, totally clear, gives amazing readings that are just, very clear. And sometimes will kick you in the ass, but so you can see it's kind of has this graphic, kind of illustrated look. Simple, but that does not mean that the readings themselves are simple. So I super recommend it. I will do a real review probably at some point. But that is a favorite. Another deck that is a favorite that I have not really read with yet, but I'm looking forward to it, is the Kaleidodope Tarot. And that's also available online. Kaleidodope Tarot Color and Culture. So this is a kind of cartoony deck, but it focuses on representation. I'll get back to the representation, but I gotta say that Three of Swords, I just love that. The push pins and the balloon is one of my favorite Three of Swords. So not all the cards are figures, but when they are, it's particularly celebrating black bodies, black and brown bodies. And just in general, I think this is a really striking deck. some of the images are fairly simple, but they are evocative to me. So I'll also do an actual review of that one. But that's just a quick look at the Kaleidodope Tarot. So moving on to a couple other tarot related things. One is these tarot bags. So I have been, I like whatever you call, I don't know the name for it, but the kind of box that's like hard box and it has a lid. I like those. I'm totally happy to keep my cards in those. I don't really feel the need to take them out. But the tuck boxes, I'm not a fan of having to open it every time and kind of messing up the box. So I have been looking for tarot bags and pouches, and I've bought some from a few different sellers on Etsy, and I like different ones for different reasons, but these are from Heather Rain Lover, and so you can see they have a little tassel, it's a zippered pouch. They come in 3 sizes, and then there's also separate listings for the large versions, which are longer. So this mathy one I used for Tarot of the Silicon Dawn. I just really like this is a small size, so this would work well for kind of standard size cards, or in this case, Silicon Dawn is smaller, but it's a thicker deck because there's extra cards in there. I like that it is fairly close to the size of the deck. So there's enough room to get it in there. It's not hard to pull them in and out, but it also doesn't take up a lot of extra space because I end up having like a lot of cloth kind of weaving around my shelves. So I really like these from Heather Rain Lover. Another tarot experience that I took part in July was the Tarot for the Wild Soul Court Cards Immersion course offered by Lindsay Mack, which was amazing. So I think she's offering it again next year, but she's also open right now for the 8-week course, Tarot for the Wild Soul course, which will be recorded video lessons. She's also doing a retreat version of it in person up in Kripalu, I think it's called Kripalu. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Lindsay Mack, definitely check out the Tarot for the Wild Soul podcast. It is really good, and like, it's just been amazing for me. That's why I decided to take the course. I wasn't quite sure because I was like, well, she covered the core cards in the podcast, so do I need to take this course? But I took it, and it was just like, it blew me away. So if you are a fan of Lindsay's and you're not sure would a course add on for you, I would definitely recommend it. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna check in with my budget and make a decision soon, but I will probably be in it, and would love to see you there because I think it's going to be a really great experience. Then just some people, favorite people, people who I've either encountered or gotten to know their work more in July that really resonated with me, especially in the kind of witchy tarot astrology realm. City Witch, non-binary witches, yay. The Word Witch, who may also be non-binary, I'm not sure, but also really great content. The Firebrand Witch, Asali Earthwork, who does the Tarot of the Cutie Puck deck listing and interview series, Power Femme Tarot, and then I already mentioned Lindsay Mack, but also Lindsay Mack. So those people, like, their content on Instagram, Patreon, like whatever channel has been really great and really helpful for me. So I wanted to give some shout outs. In music, Tiny Desk Concerts. If you don't know the Tiny Desk Concerts, great way to discover artists you're not familiar with. Range of genres, range of like people from all over the world come to NPR here in DC and sit down behind Bob Oyland's desk and record usually a 2 to 4 song set. And they tape it. NPR Music is the YouTube channel, and so you can see all those, go back through the old ones. One I really liked was wow, I'm gonna blank. I was trying to call her Gillian Welch or Alison Krauss, and it's neither of those people. Bella Fleck and it's just not gonna come to me. Bella Fleck and Bella Fleck's wife, but I hate to say Abigail Washburn. Yes, okay, because I actually like Abigail Washburn even more than Bella Fleck. They did one together that I would really recommend their set. But just tons of like unknown artists, really, really good way to discover new music. And then the Florence and the Machine album dropped, and I am just Florence and I have a thing for Florence and the Machine. Florence Welch, just something about her just calls to my heart. I would not say this is my favorite album of theirs, but it's very good. It's very specific. It's kind of all about a particular period of her life. It's very personal, and it's just, I don't personally resonate with it as much as some of the other albums, but if you do have family stuff, addiction history, substance abuse in your past, like, I think this will definitely hit you hard, and that's available on Spotify. So in things I watched, Netflix has a lot of good comedy right now. So I had been watching a bunch of their stuff, but the most recent is W. Kamau Bell has his special Private School Negro is available on Netflix now, and it's, you know this if you know Kamau Bell, I mean, it's amazing, but really funny, really relevant, and just awesome. And then this is this is not a Rex video, it's a favorites video, so I know this is really old, but my roommates and I have been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we just finished last night, and I don't, like, uncritically recommend it if you haven't seen it. There's a lot of just, like, oh my god, it's clearly white Americans making a show that involves a lot of Orientalism and cultural appropriation, and there's weird disability stuff, but there's also really good representation. So even though, like, there are lots of problems with it, it's a 10-year-old kid show, and for what it is, it's pretty good. And I'm super excited to watch Korra now that I've seen The Last Airbender. Okay, books. Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown. I have been looking forward to so much. I finally started reading it. I'm only a third way through, but it's, like, should be a foundational text for everyone. Definitely get it. I fan queer hard for Adrienne Marie Brown, but this specific book, like, is just, yes, get it. Translate Me, I posted a review. This is by C.N. Lester, so I will put below the blog post. So that one I did get a free copy of for blog review, to be transparent, but I thought it was really nice. I really like the way trans nonfiction is going, from the kind of sensationalized memoir to a more kind of critical trans-centric lens. And then the third one is a very specific thing, but it is a favorite in the kind of business book category. If you happen to randomly be a tech manager like me, there is this book called The Manager's Path by Camille Fournier that someone recommended to me at a conference, and it is really good. So that's all I'm going to say. It's, like, very specific. If you're in that field, read that book. Finally, a couple of food items. If you are vegan, vegan jerky. There's a lot of vegan jerky, but this particular vegan jerky, not necessarily the flavor. I tried a bunch of flavors, but Paulette's is the name of it, and it's really moist and really delicious and protein. And then the last food item, I do not have one to show you because I ate them all, but Trader Joe's, if you kind of go in the corner, they're usually stored in a weird place. They have these tins of dolma, so, like, the grape leaf stuff with rice, and they're vegan, and it's a little tin. You get 10 of them in a 10 in a tin, but they're really good for, like, you've got to go to work, you want something really small to throw in your bag, and it's a whole lunch. Gonna recommend that. So yeah, that was kind of all over the place, but I will leave links below, and those are my favorites for July.